Is this cycle different and more different from the last time we checked? I mean, it's not just a spot Bitcoin ETFs. Things are changing pretty fast here. Institutions are piling in, and we're talking about the treasury companies for digital assets, not just Bitcoin, but also Ether as well. So perhaps this cycle, the whole bull bear correction cycle, is going to be different, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a great point, Sherry. This is really about acceptance and adoption, and there's still a lot of people that doubt it. I will tell you that I get more conversations with people in terms of reach out from traditional fiat investors. I think retail has been getting in gradually since the ETF launch. You've seen that with the inflows. But over the course of the last 6 weeks, there's been a dramatic shift, beginning with the Circle IPO. The Circle IPO, for me, was a major event. Tom Lee spoke in interviews and called it a ChatGPT moment, and I could not agree more in the fact that it just brought a lot more attention to the space. I do a weekly podcast really focused on the macro world combining with crypto, and I will tell you that I've had more reach out on Ethereum. And again, I've talked about this being the year of network effects for crypto. When I was on with you last time, we spent a lot of time talking about that. But I've been waiting for a period where AI would converge with crypto and with regulatory changes. And that's obviously what we've seen this year. And then last year was opening up more and more retail to it with the ETF products.
Let's talk about what Tom Lee has been up to. And of course, I did briefly mention the digital asset treasury companies. What do you think? Really buy a Bitcoin or buy shares of MicroStrategy or Strategy, or buy Ether, or buy Tom Lee's, the company where Tom Lee is a chairman of BitMine. So is it better to get the cryptocurrency itself or buy shares of digital asset treasury companies?
I think it depends on the risk tolerance that people have. If they want more risk, they can go buy the treasury companies. I would stick with MicroStrategy in terms of Bitcoin. And I think since Tom Lee kind of has the first mover advantage in size in there, it's probably his route. But for people sitting at home that are getting involved, this is not a speculation to me. When this is exactly on the point of the public markets changing in the 2030s, I view the investment in first Bitcoin as being the S&P 500 of the future. I've said it repeatedly. I'll continue to say it. In a world where AI disrupts all businesses, every single business will be disrupted by artificial intelligence as we go forward. I just don't feel people have spent enough time on it. What Bitcoin represents is something which is outside the current system. It will continue to gain strength. I think on the last program, I said it would go above 200,000 this year. I still not only believe that, I think there's higher highs for it going forward. I think this is something that people at least need to focus on as a small portion of their portfolio, if for no other reason that I think from a standpoint of what is a certainty going forward, the current existence of the framework we have in capitalism is changing going forward. And if people don't believe it, they need to have some sort of a hedge. And Bitcoin and Ethereum themselves are at least combined a good way to do that. If they want to get in the treasury companies, they just have more risk, but I think they'll also work for the near term.
What is the number one question you're getting from what you called traditional fiat investors about crypto and potential investment ideas?
The number one question is, am I too late? So, which is an indication of people's fears of buying the top. So people are never going to put much money into it. I was on an interview earlier in the year with someone who hates it. And at the end of the interview, I just said to them, you will own it before the end of the year. You just won't tell anyone. This is part of the thing we saw in the polls for Donald Trump, is that he won the election going away. And that's because a lot of people that came out of the polls wouldn't admit they were voting for him, but they did. Bitcoin still fits in this situation where I think after 18 years or 17 years of continuing to move higher, being a $2.4 trillion asset, one of the largest assets in the world, it's getting harder and harder for people to be negative against it. So now the acceptance is starting. I think the adoption phase will come once the agentic world takes off. And that's the thing, Sherry, that I just want to make sure, I'm sure we'll be doing these again in the future. Every time I come on, you just ask me, how are we doing on the agentic world? As AI agents are transacting more, stable coins will be used more. That means people are entering into this world of the digital assets. Bitcoin will always gather a portion of that money that ends up there. And I think that's what we're headed for over the rest of this year.